There we go. There's me. There's you. There's us. There's all of us together. And we're doing our thing on a Friday, wet Friday. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It's Explorers Expresso. I am actually with the weather doing the, not the cold brew, but I'm here. Well, there we go. See? We're at Hawks and Sergeant Bluff. That's where I'm at. And I'm talking Explorers baseball right here. Let's bring this graphic down because we're not doing it next. We're doing it now. And anyway, glad you're along. And glad you stopped by here. And there we go. Got the everything going right here. I'm having my little snack this morning. A wet morning this morning, isn't it? Let's get with the news of the day. Of course, your show, it is your show. I'll take your questions and comments. I'm sure you folks will have a few. Let me go ahead and actually getting a question right now via the text. I'm going to answer right now. But there we go. Okay. All right. Where were we? Oh, yes. I was introduced to the show. What are you doing, Vaughn? It's like he's all over the place this morning. He just had his first sip and he's woo. All right, glad you're along. Again, we take your questions and comments here, and we will talk about the Sioux City Explorers, who last night got a big win over those Cleveland Railroaders in a nail-biting, hard-fought, white-knuckle roller coaster ride of the last few minutes, but it worked out. And, do you recall what I was saying, gosh, maybe 3 weeks ago? Eventually the worms should turn. You can't just continue to have rotten luck late. I mean, yeah, you've got to throw strikes and things like that. Well, in my mind during that inning, and I'm going to share the highlights in a moment, in that ninth inning, I was wanting to punch myself because I thought, I'm about to see that again. But the rotten luck did turn, and you'd had a crazy play already once against Cleveland that cost you extra innings there in Cleveland. It looked like last night perhaps Cleveland was going to get away with another kind of crazy bounce throw their way and perhaps put you in extra innings. It didn't work out that way. Sean Murkowski probably he looked really good 2 nights ago when he went 1, 2, 3, but probably his best work of all. And what I mean by that, not so much his best stuff, his best grit. The best grit, really digging deep and trying to, work out of a spot. And it was a spot. He didn't look good early, but he got out of it. And then even the bad break, he still wound up getting getting outs. He got a huge strikeout and then winds up getting the final out. And a good play by Ortega right there with the netting down there against a really good Cleveland hitting ball club. So anyway, 6-5 final last night. I'll show those highlights in a moment. Other pieces of news today, Wilfredo Jimenez, who left the ball game last night. Let me bring you into me here because I'm sure a lot of folks would know about Wilfredo. I just spoke with Steve Montgomery a few moments ago, right before we came on the air, and Mongo telling me that basically he was foggy. Other than that, though, there's no they don't think anything else. There's just a tad here. They don't believe there's any kind of other issues for him. So that will be followed up and update. Usually, not a doctor, but I've seen this enough times that concussion protocol usually is a process that takes a little time to develop. He was foggy last night. He was, that's why he came on the ball game. He did kind of take it easy, but he got hit in the back of the side of the head on the helmet and didn't stay in the ball game, ran the bases until he got to third and he came out. Ortega came in for him. But the word was foggy today, which I've been concussed before. And I can tell you that you are a little foggy. My oldest had an issue with it a little bit in college when she was riding equestrian, and it was there's a little fogginess after that. And it doesn't mean you have a concussion, but you've had something around your head. That's why I mentioned last night in the game, Bruce Fishback came out. He was right there in his face because there are certain signs that those guys are looking for that they know are trigger points to diagnosing and taking care of that. Because, again, anytime you get hit in the head, that's serious business, right? And we know that watching the NFL and college football and really any sport. That's a big deal. So, but apparently Wilfredo was a little foggy, but other than that, that was pretty much the update. He did not leave the ballpark in discomfort except for being a little foggy, which who could blame him, right? The other piece of news today coming from the promotions department, you may have seen this a few moments ago if you've just locked in on Facebook. We've moved the fireworks show to tomorrow night. Now, granted, the game is on tonight. It is raining here in Sergeant Bluff. It's going to probably be on and off. I believe this is the heaviest stretch we're going to have of the day, this window from about noon to 2. It does drop after that, but I've not seen the field yet. It's got a lot of rain this week, and the field's in great shape. Boy, Chris has done it. Chris and his crew, by the way, that young man, a rookie in the business, and talk about trial by fire. This young man's done a really good job. Way to go, Chris, man. You're a really good dude, and happy for him, the fine work he's doing. And just yesterday, the field was beautiful. It was green. Cloud was not a cloud in the sky, and boy, that thing greened up, and it looks great. But several things in play here. The weather we get the rest of the way. It's rained pretty much steadily off and on this morning. For example, I canceled my workout today because couldn't get a read. My lovely wife and the dog went on their walk 3 times. They kept starting. They got the door and it'd start again. Start. And so that's the kind of day it's been for all of us. So those are the headlines of the day. And again, I will take your questions and comments on this one. The highlights aren't loading, so I'm going to do them again like I did yesterday. I don't know why I'm doing that. To call my software service. And so with that, let's go ahead and load those highlights in. Then we'll do it this way because I do want to show you those last night. But that's the headlines. And the other thing, and I did not mention this in the press release because sometimes happens when you've got your media guy sort of answering for everybody, and that happens sometimes. But hold on just a second here. Where are we? There we go. Okay, I'm going to pull this down. Screen share the highlights last night. They were good. Just a really good night at the ballpark. A 6-5 winner. Just to recap the game last night, had a 4-0 lead. I got to tell you, it was a little frustrating because you had the lead and you look like you're going to put this thing away, and you let them get back in it. You just can't do it. Cleveland's is too good. Their offense too good. Zach Nerrier too good. Runners aboard. He's too good. And he delivered last night, helped get them back. Also, the rookie for them, too, doing the job last night with the home run. Let me get the graphic up here. Where was I? There we go. Talk amongst yourselves. But, yes, good night last time all the way around. 6-5 winner. When do you come to Gary, Mish? Abby and Gary. And we're in August. We're in August weekend. I believe it's the second weekend of August. Looking forward to seeing you too, Keith, there in the South Shore. Good mate of mine. Big association guy. Keith has been a guy that has really been he's a fan, supporter, ticket holder. He's also served as a bat boy. On those busy days, those kids' days, when you got all these kids in the stands, it's sometimes hard to get kids on the day games to do bat boying or on a business person special. Keith would get out there in full kit, and he would do the thing. He's done it many times. A lumber recovery specialist, the legendary Keith Patterson. Good to see you, mate. All right, so the highlights from last night. Give me a moment here as I will put this on the screen. I got to press play here, and we will do that right now. And here's a little audio, too, from last night in the ball game. Let's go ahead and roll it. And there are the good news highlights from last night. You can hear my lovely wife who jumped in the booth late. She came up there real late and happened to be in the booth just at the final out when she came up there, and she was screaming and hollering, so that's all good. She didn't get the memo, no screaming and hollering in the press box, but oh well, you got to win, so you just take it, right? So all good. Okay, where were we? We had the highlights. You saw those. They're a little wonky. I got to do something about that. I may have to bring back some gear. I've got a piece of equipment that'll probably take care of that. I may have to do that when we get back for the All-Star break, but we'll have to hang with them for the time being. Last night, a couple of things I want to note there. The highlight package, first off, I had it for the Chase Harris play in there and the double play ball. Defense is very good again last night. Quietly, this team's the bottom third in defense, meaning bottom third, top third in defense. Kind of hovering 8th, 9th in the league. Been really solid right there, and it's not been a problem that's reoccurred like some teams have had. The other thing I noticed too, that 9th inning play, and it was a ground ball, one hop just over Rakowski's glove, and then Delvin Zinn's about to make a play, and he's pretty much set up for either a hop from the belt to the shoulders, right? He's going to make the play. He's going to underhand for one at second, and Sierra's probably going to turn two. It's tailor-made. But it hits the front lip of the grass in that one little strange angle. It's probably, I don't know, maybe that much of a little ledge, which is not uncommon in baseball. It's enough of a ledge, but enough of a ledge that it hit the bottom of that, the right angle, and shot over the head of Zinn into right field. And you thought, oh my gosh, talk about a break. Remember back there, their place back in May when there was a play in the extra innings that would have looked like a double play ball that we throw the ball off their shoulders in the center field and don't get an out. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, here we go again. But no, Rakowski got a strikeout, the pop out. That was all she wrote, and a final score of 6-5. So there we go. Questions, comments about last night. We are at Hawks and Sergeant Bluff. There we are, right there. Good folks there. Lauren, maybe some kind of really good coffee. This is really some kind of mocha is really good. Yeah, I couldn't do the cold brew today. I had to do the fall winter brew. Other items of note today. The X's will go bullpen tonight. Now the starting plan appears to be, and I would imagine 5 pitchers will see action tonight. One of those nights you're going to see, and not because you're bad or you're doing bad. It's going to be the case because you've got basically a bullpen day. And Tokar went last night. Peguero pitched last night. You got those 2 guys who pitched. So you're looking at a situation where you've got to where are you at the power in the power rankings? Which ones? The mascot rankings? I rank the mascots power wise. You want to hear those? Power. You know what? Pretty simple, Keith. You've got 4 beasts right now. Kansas City, best record in the league. Milwaukee, and then I would say at the moment, Fargo's still in that mix, and so is Cleveland. But seeing something I'm going to talk about in a moment that's changing a little bit in the West. You're seeing Fargo come back to pack, and suddenly you've really got a 3-team race for number 2. In Kansas City, while they are leading the pack and they look to be safe as the number 1, the number 2 seed suddenly is wide open as you look at the standings today, and I'll pull those up for you. So I would tell you, power ranking wise, I would go with it would be Kansas City, then Milwaukee, and then I would say probably Cleveland, then Fargo, then Lincoln, then it's probably a toss-up between King County and Sioux City. Probably Sioux City has a better record, and then King County. From there, Lake Country's played better. Then Sioux Falls and the Garys and Winnipeg. That sort of looks like the way I'd see it right now. Mascots, your number 1. Mascot rankings. Hawkeye has been my number 1 for a while now. Slider has found his way up in the 4 position. Slider had a little work to do, but he's done some really good work, behind the scenes work that I won't share with you that's very funny. Slider's alter ego is very funny, okay? So But yeah, Hawkeye is up there. And then I would say sliding right behind him is Bovine. And I think there's a two-way tie there with a Slider. And I believe I had the Cleburne's not the old guy. I can't remember his name now. The actual Nail, him, he was in there. Anyway, I do those mascot rankings about once a month. I'll update those next month, Keith. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. I let the Chicago dog out. But see, this is where I'm wrong. A lot of people don't like this, Keith. I rank Chicago dogs ketchup higher than mustard. Not because I like mustard or ketchup. I love mustard. Mustard's my go-to in all my Sammys and all that. Matter of fact, I make a salmon with mustard. It's really good with some. It's really good. Anyway, I digress. I love Ketchup's bit, his trench coat, the kind of the seedy character in the corner, that guy in the street corner. It looks like he's, doing something he shouldn't be doing, right? I mean, I'm afraid any moment he's going to open up that trench coat and flash the world. I mean, that's sort of the way I see Ketchup. So I give Ketchup actually that third position, then the Slider. The Mustard's in there, but Mustard's down. Not because I don't like Mustard, just I think Ketchup's bit is pretty funny. I think it's very, very funny. Hawkeye's the best engagement in the league. He and Bovine, only two guys that I see. Spike, that's his right, Spike. Those two guys will come see me personally and bring me milkshakes, and that's another thing. You want to be number one in my rankings? I told this yesterday on Connor Ryan's show. Connor Ryan and Brett Allred and I, who's the Cleveland play-by-play voice, were on Fox Radio here in Sioux City yesterday with Connor, and we said, we were talking about mascots, and I said the mascots could do my game notes, my post-game story. They might be number one. So you don't ever be milkshake. Just do my game notes, and your thumbs up, man. Your thumbs up. You're number one. It's what can you contribute to help good old DB out? That's the thing. Just kidding. Yeah, Spike. Yes. Anyway, okay. Back to what we're talking about. Standings, and back to the power rankings and standings, Keith. And this is something I want to bring up for you guys here in Sioux City, is that, milkshakes are good. They are really good. They are. Suddenly, we've sort of been saying the last, 5 weeks? Kansas City, Fargo, and then it's a battle between Lincoln and Sioux City for number 3 and 4. Take your pick, whoever's going to be that. I'm here to tell you that it's not the realm of possibility. As a matter of fact, I think it's a very good possibility that your number 2 team might actually be playing right here or in Lincoln, because they're A, playing better, B, Fargo is in a real, they're a different team. Now, granted, I think the addition of having Coral Prime as their milkshakes, very funny, very funny. Very underrated humor right there, by the way. Very funny, very funny, very funny, very funny, very funny. But yeah, I believe that, Lincoln, look at the standings as we play right now. Lincoln is only 2.5 games behind Fargo for second, which means we are only 3.5 games behind Fargo for second. Let that sink in again. The doubleheader sweep and the week you've had, despite losing the series to Lincoln, you find yourself a game behind Lincoln. You find yourself 3.5 games behind Fargo. You're only 6.5 behind Kansas City, but I think Kansas City is a different beast right now. And like we talked about, power rankings and all that. Tell me who's healthy in August. We go to Labor Day weekend, who's healthy and who's not. And suddenly, this is a different race than it was 10 days ago. 10 days ago was sort of like, okay, who's going to be third and fourth? Let's fight it out. And suddenly and now Sioux Falls is 4 behind you. Winnipeg is 6.5 behind you. That's a bit of ways to go for 4, but you're suddenly, you're 3 games out of second, 3.5 games out of second. And you've got games against Fargo coming up. You get a chance to make that go your way. Now, Fargo's going to get healthier, and they're going to be better. And I think Coral Prime, what he's doing is phenomenal stuff for them. He's a great story, the pitching and playing position-wise. But, again, this is a different division than it was a few weeks ago, and it's not so much because of anything more than everybody's playing better in the third and fourth spot. And then B, I mean, Fargo's coming back the pack a bit. And I think it all changed for them in that series against Kansas City, where Kansas City beat them up there. That really changed their fortunes. They had that rough series down in Cleveland, but, they are fighting tooth and nail for number 2, and it's not going to be – this will be a great race. I mean, this West Division is going to be fun, and the East will be fun too, but we're not as worried about that because we don't play in the East. We play in the West. And so I would tell you that, your power rankings right now, still those 4, the 2 top teams in each division, but it's getting close. And in that West Division, you are maybe a weekend or going the All-Star break away from it being totally upside down. And there's a scenario in place with Lincoln and with Sioux City where you could have 3 teams jumbled up going to Milwaukee. I mean, Lincoln's got Gary this weekend. We got this tough series of Cleveland, but from there, you got Lake Country, which is – I'm not saying it's a series you should win, but you should be competitive. And you feel pretty good against Fargo. It's a 6-game road trip. You can stay even right there and stay around 500. You go on the All-Star break right where you need to be, looking for number 2. If you get number 2, remember, if you can start keep winning against Kansas City, you only got to finish tied with them. So that shaves one more game off. So you're only looking at 5.5 games behind Kansas City. Very doable. So it's a whole different animal, this whole division. And I remember going last night, we were leaving last night. I almost said something to Austin about this because, it's a who's the sleeper that wants to play? Right now, Lincoln. I think Lincoln is the one. I think Lincoln's tough. And I think King County as well in the weeds in that East Division. Their pitching's good enough that on any given night they can shut you down if they can score any runs. I don't think anybody wants to play Sioux City when this team's healthy. And this team's not healthy, but it's playing pretty good baseball. And I think this team will only get better as this thing is kind of going through a bit of a shift during the middle of the season. But I think as far as the East, I would say King County, and I would say Lincoln right now, but they're not really a sleeper. I said this before. I said this on the show yesterday, or maybe it was Tuesday. Sioux City sits in a position that's unique, and I maybe not unique, maybe it's the wrong word, in a good position because this staff, if healthy, and we're talking healthy, we're talking about in no particular order: Solomon Bates, Austin Drury, Mitchell Verberg, Trenton Toplicar, Jared Weatherby, those 5 guys, Iatar Tokar, who pitched great last night, those 6 bodies. Now, granted, you're going to have probably Verberg may not be back for the year. Who knows? He may be available late in August. Weatherby, I do think he'll be back in August. I think he'll be back toward the end of the month. Assuming no one gets picked up, which is always a big assumption. Give me 2 of those. Give me any of those combo platters. Give me Drury and Toplicar. Give me Bates and Drury. Give me a Toplicar and Bates. Give me those 2 in a 3-game series. I feel pretty good. I don't think anybody wants to play Sioux City with the way that rotation's been. The rotation's been sort of overshadowed because the record's been up and down. So I would say the 2 that, maybe throw Sioux City in the mix there, Keith, but for sure, King County and for sure, Lincoln, but they've been playing well. And I would think, again, wearing my ex's glasses here, but it comes down to starting pitching in the postseason, I think, and health. And if you've got 2 starters and you're healthy, take my chances. You might still lose 3-2, but you're going to be in the game. You won't get throttled. And oftentimes teams are unhealthy and kind of back in the postseason, get knocked around a bit. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I think that, again, we've watched this Sioux City team at one point. Austin Drury, for example, who pitched 2 nights ago, had 4 quality starts. The team had lost all 4. Now, granted, there were different reasons. Mostly the bullpen had some issues. Extra inning loss. The guy pitched against Milwaukee going 6 innings, 6 2/3, allowed 1 run, and he gets a loss on a 2-0 ball game. That's how he pitched great on the road there. So, again, back to your question again is, I don't think anybody wants to – you don't want to play any team that's got 2 or 3 starters that can go out there and give you 6 or 7. That's the thing. Cleburne last night, their guy Perry was good, settled in. Tonight, their starter states my name. The name escapes me here tonight. It is going to be. Let me pull that up for you. It is Casey Kalich, 2-1 on 3.85. But I mean, I feel pretty good when the Explorers run out what they're running out there. I mean, I think it's really, you feel pretty confident. I don't know how you guys feel. You guys here in Sioux City, do you feel the same way? Yeah, your offense is not going to score 10 or 11 runs. You're not going to be the offense that perhaps Cleveland runs out there. But how many teams are? How many teams are Sioux Falls? I mean, look at Sioux Falls. They got really in all kinds of categories, but they can't throw strikes. Can't retire batters. You can't win the postseason going, winning 9-7. Because you're going to run to a team that's going to eventually, and you watch the major leagues, you see this in postseason, good pitching always beats good hitting the postseason. If a team is healthy with good pitching, and that's going to be the key. So, yeah, eternal optimist, maybe so. Maybe so. Questions, comments on the last call here on the big show. We're at Hawks Coffee here in Sergeant Bluff. You should come and check these folks out. Man, this is rocking. I love this place. A lot of times you go to a coffee shop. I go to a little shop in Dallas called LDU. It's real small, and I feel like sometimes I'm in everybody's business. Here you got plenty of room. Got 2 rooms. And they've also got, they also have too? They got food. They got toasties, got sandwiches, little salads, got all kinds of pastries. They've got the smoothies. I had one of those last week. It was phenomenal. So come by and see these folks here, even on a rainy day, the warm coffee. Now, the rain has stopped here. There's that. Okay. Again, tonight, the fireworks have been moved to tomorrow night. Now, the game is still on. So here's the protocol for today. Let me kind of walk you guys through this. We don't know what time the fireworks will start tomorrow night because we don't know. The game starts at 6. Should be done, let's hope, a 2-hour game by 8-ish. So sometime after the game, okay? Not being snarky, just kind of the way. Tonight, we're still playing ball. That's the plan. There's been no call to cancel the game. We're not playing. Here's the deal. The league has integrity in place. That means they want to try to play every ball game they can possibly play. No one wakes up in the morning going, we're not going to play. You try to do all you can do to play. And if you can't do it, then you make the call. But right now, we're planning on playing. I'm going to do my work as if I'm going on the air at 6:35 tonight. If we don't, we'll find out later. That's what we have social media for. Our website's there, our Twitter account, our Instagram, all those places. Facebook will be up with the updates. But right now, we're playing. Now, if you folks that bought tickets for fireworks tonight, that exchange is in place, and I believe it's on the website. Let me pull that up for you. I put that back up earlier. Let's see here. I want to read exactly what it says because I want to make sure I'm getting my news right. But let's see here. Move to Saturday. The actual wording is this. If you'd like to exchange tonight's tickets, July 7th, see the fireworks show tomorrow, stop by the box office, and our friendly staff will assist you in getting those tickets traded. So they're standing by. So if for some reason you don't want to go tonight, you want to see fireworks tomorrow, that's the protocol. Okay? Other than that, tonight we got to play. And again, that's what we do. We play baseball. That's what we do. Rain or shine, we try to play. Now, we do all we can do to play. We try to we cover the field. We have wet spots. We dry it out. We put the quick dry down. We squeegee the field. We do all we can do. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you just can't play. But right now, that's the plan. We will update you this afternoon. So please, I know that a lot of folks are going to call and ask, but the best thing to do is to just stay tuned to our social channels because we'll have it up. The moment it gets changed, we're going to find out. And right now, I would go about it as if we're going to play. We're playing baseball tonight, okay? Until we say otherwise. So the fireworks are moved. The game did not move. So fireworks are going tomorrow night in the Jersey auction as well tomorrow night. But tonight we're playing no fireworks tonight. It's Pirates and Princess night. Austin will be dressed up as one of the two, maybe both. I don't know. I don't have a costume, so there's that. I'm off the snide there on that one. Beautiful. People think about packing light. All right, final question, final comments. What you guys got? We'll let you guys go. Again, the show is X's Expresso. We do this every Monday through Friday. Now, we're back with you again next week. Monday is one of those days where we may not see you until Tuesday. Now, Tuesday is one of those days we may not see you at all because the game's at 11. Yeah. Now, who decided to have a game at Tuesday at 11 as opposed to Wednesday on a getaway day? Anybody know? Do we got to teach baseball 101 around the league, these new teams? I mean, that to me is, if you're going to play a day game, play it on the getaway day. Don't play it the day before. I don't understand where that thinking comes from. I don't get it. Unless the schedule, it's the only time you can get the kiddos to come out. I mean, there's that. But it should be a league rule. Yeah, get an eye patch. I'll get an eye patch. What I'll do. Anyway. Again, tonight, what I tell you, let's all repeat together. Baseball tonight until otherwise noted. And when we otherwise note it, you will know. I mean, you'll hear it everywhere. You'll hear it on KSCJ. You'll see it on Facebook. Until then, we're playing. And if you don't see that announcement, you'll get your tail out the ballpark and join us. We're going to be playing baseball tonight against those Cleveland Railroaders in game number 2 of this series. And by the way, last night's win got you to 500. That was good news as well. So, a little good vibe this week, but a good homestand so far, 7-game homestand. You've already put 4 in the bank in the good news column, rang the register 4 times of the win. That's been good. All righty. Ready for some 1, 2, 3 go X's? I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. I get some work done because I'm playing ball tonight. I hope anyway. Again, seriously, folks, when we will update. If there's a change, we'll update. But until then, make plans to see us tonight at 6:35 on the air, and the first pitch at 7:05 there at Mercy One at Lewis and Clark Park. Again, next week, because of the schedule, Tuesday we'll be on the air on the radio side at first pitch, and then Wednesday we'll have a show there in Oconomowoc. Monday we'll be traveling. It all depends on what time we leave on Sunday. We leave early enough that we can do a show on Monday. If we don't, it means getting there and doing the work, and it's hard to do. We'll try. I'll do my best to give you a show on Monday, but until Wednesday for sure. So you're going to get a few days off from me, which is probably good, right? So all good. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You guys ready? Here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Go X's. I'll see you in the broadcast. Not everybody. I hope. There we go. There we go. Come on. There we go. Love you guys.